Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show where we tell you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by my co-host today, Brian Thornton. Fortunately, Josh he's not here with us. I have no nerdy reason as to why he's not.
He's at a weekend of debauchery. Isn't that enough?
Josh is just off enjoying life, and we're just gonna let him do that.
No, we're not.
So, being that we are on the cusp of a new month, Brian has, how do I put this delicately, hastily assembled the list of movies that are coming out.
That's not as good as the other adjectives you used to describe this.
I don't know if you've noticed, man. We're just taking it down every month. It's just going down and down. And down.
Every month it becomes more and more last minute. Sorry.
So there's some good movies that are coming out in June, and we want to go ahead and...
There are some good movies.
So, I mean, let's start off with where it should go. So talk about what's going on June 2nd. It's Wonder Woman for those of you playing the home game. So trying to save the DC universe is Wonder Woman. And we've been very pumped for this movie. All three of us have been very pumped to see what DC does. It's gotten some good reviews. So yeah, that's always going.
Some good things down the pipe.
That's got some good things going for it. And yeah, I mean, we're all going to see this regardless. But I'm really hoping that this is the movie that can start to lift my opinion of DC's movies, and I won't shit on this.
I certainly hope so. It looks good. She's great. She's charming as all get out. She's charming AF.
And Chris Pine is, Chris Pine, so...
Yeah, he's pining all over the place. It's going to be great.
But then another superhero movie, right? Coming out the same day. About to be crushed. No, it's not a superhero movie at all. It's Captain Underpants. Which, here's the thing. You look at this cast list. It's stacked. It's a pretty good cast.
Yeah.
Do you know what my desire is to see it?
Dude, I don't have children. B, I read like the first book at a Scholastic book fair when I was like, I don't even remember how old, and that was it. Like, it's a fun concept. It's a fun movie, and I'm sure kids will enjoy it. I'll watch it on DVD in the Blu-rays.
On the Divid?
The Divid. I mean, I'll give it a shot there, but I'm not spending $10.
Oh, I'm not going to spend any money to do this. My daughter isn't old enough to appreciate a movie like this either, so I don't have to worry about it. So I get to escape this one. And then June 9th is The Mummy. How did I end up leading this topic?
I have Jedi mind powers.
So June 9th is The Mummy, and this is Warner Brothers' big take on trying to make the monster universe happen. Again, no one asked for...
Yeah, did you hear... Did you see
the post?
Did you see the post?
Did you see it? Okay, so there's this post online. I didn't send it to you. You didn't send it to me. I think we both saw the exact same thing.
The Dark Universe?
Oh, okay, yeah, that. No, this is entirely different.
Okay, no, this is different. All right, let me talk about something serious before you make fun of something.
Please, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, this movie is the first in the line of the Universal's quote-unquote dark universe movies that they're putting together. It's going to include, obviously, The Mummy, as well as Russell Crowe's character in The Mummy is going to be Dr. Jekyll.
Oh.
And supposedly, from what I can gather, he is the Nick Fury glue of this universe because he's going to show up in the other stuff. But they actually cast Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
And Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man.
Yes. Yeah, it's,
I'm interested.
I mean,
I'm in.
Listen, the cast is, again, yay, like, yes, but I mean, like, okay.
I don't know how well it's going to work because they tried this already. You realize, like, Benicio del Toro's Wolfman was supposed to be the start of this, and it didn't work. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to go see this movie.
The post that I saw on the internet was, "Hey, Hollywood, I fixed the Mummy movie without even seeing a frame of it. Tom Cruise and the hot blonde go to the cave and they find the sarcophagus. Tom Cruise goes to open it up, and the woman goes, 'No, Tom Cruise, don't open it up.' So then Tom Cruise opens it up. A mummy pops out, shoots him in the head, and goes, 'Damn it, I told you to let me.'" Oh, yeah, unwrap the mummy. It's Brendan Fraser. And she's like, "How did you get in here?" And he goes, "Well, it's a funny story. You play the first Mummy movie with him in it, then you wrap back to him." And she goes, "That doesn't really answer your question." He goes, "Yeah, I've just been waiting here." Fixed.
Okay. Everybody's really angry about the fact that they're rebooting this franchise.
But
I love that original Mummy movie, but
But that's the
It's
thing.
okay.
They're not
It's
rebooting.
okay.
They're not rebooting the Mummy. This is a totally
different
thing.
Different thing.
So I agree that people need to lighten up. I mean, I like Tom Cruise. I did think it was great that when we initially talked about this movie, Josh like shattered our brains that Tom Cruise is the Mummy in this one because he dies in the plane crash and then wakes up in the zipper body
Yeah, and then
bag.
they pretty much confirmed it in the next 2 trailers after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Plus, it's so weird to see Jake Johnson in like a really serious role.
Yeah.
After seeing him on like the New
much,
Girl and stuff. Yeah.
Way like he is Nick Miller to me all
but
the time.
But here's the thing. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
You're getting my money, Warner
You want to go see
Brothers.
it together? Let's go see it
yeah,
together.
sure, absolutely. Let's get some popcorn and make it happen.
Sweet.
All right, the next date, June 16th, there's actually 3 movies coming out. There's All Eyes on Me, Rough Night, and Cars 3. So let's start with the real winner of those 3 movies, and that's Cars 3.
I think Josh would disagree with you on that.
Well, of course he would.
Well, yeah. But because he's not here, we're Cars 3.
We can just do it. But it's Cars 3.
This is our show.
And this is supposed to be, this is a little, everything has been like really dark in this.
They haven't
A
really...
very different tone.
Yeah. I'm out of all the Pixar movies, the Cars movies are like low on the list, like right above Ratatouille and The Good Dinosaur for me. So I'm going to see it most likely, but we'll see. I mean, it looks interesting. Looks dark.
I mean, I'll see because Disney Pixar.
I didn't see Tow Mater in any of the trailers, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm cool with Larry the Cable Guy just being dead. That's fine with me.
Well, why'd you have to take it there, man?
I'm okay with Larry the Cable Guy not being involved in this franchise ever again, or ever involved in any movie franchise ever again, or any movie.
Sure, there you go. That's much better.
All right, so what would Josh then say is the best out of those 3?
I think he's more excited for All Eyes on Me. Although knowing Josh, he probably won't see it in the theater.
That's true. What is All Eyes on Me?
It's the Tupac Shakur story, his life and rap and things. And
a biopic about Tupac Shakur? Maybe that's a way you could have.
It's a biopic, yeah.
And the guy who's playing Tupac looks a lot like him.
So I am told, and I've seen pictures. They look similar. I have nothing to add to this movie. I'm so sorry.
You have nothing.
Got nothing to add to this movie.
Josh would be shaking his head. Josh, I hear you right now, probably on a plane somewhere, going, "God damn it, guys! This movie is more important than you're making it out to be." We'll have to get his impressions when he comes back. I mean, it looks interesting.
He will give us his impressions via text message, I'm sure.
Straight Outta Compton was a great movie, and I'm hoping that maybe it has the same kind of caliber and the same buzz to it. But I
did not see it.
We'll see. You didn't see?
I did not see Straight Outta Compton.
All right. And then rounding out that day is Rough Night. Now listen, I love.
You're
gonna
have a rough night if you see.
I love Scarlett Johansson. I do.
Who doesn't?
But the rest of this, it looks terrible.
The entire.
Scarlett Johansson always looks great.
Oh yeah, well, Scarlett Johansson is a wonderful actress. I always enjoy her. But
and I like Broad City, and I do. I like the people who are behind this.
What's the chick? The chick that's with her, the other main chick who was in 22 Jump Street. I can't stand her.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember her name.
So Rough Night initially looks like it's going to be kind of good. It's got the mixture of the serious actors, comedic actors, and people who can deliver great performances. And then the premise, it looks like it's going to be a really, 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 really bad Weekend at Bernie's thing, where they have to like pretend that this stripper is alive that they kill, and hopefully don't get into trouble. But it just looks like it's going to be full of crappy Hangover 3 rejected jokes. I'm not.
Jillian Bell.
Jillian Bell is the reason you're not.
She is. I cannot stand her. I don't think she is funny. She is annoying.
So Cars 3, yay. But the other 2 I can.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in the summer. Summer movie season is in full swing, and there is something coming out every week that I will be seeing. June 2nd will be Wonder Woman. June 9th will clearly be The Mummy. Cars 3 is June 16th. And then next week is something I'm really excited to see.
Again, we need one, once a quarter? It's a new Transformers movie. It's called The Last Night. Or, as I like to call it, Fast and Furious Transformers.
Who cares?
It's the same. No, it's the same. I'm just saying it's the same premise.
Now, first off, I will fight you on the fact that I'm sure this script was written well before Fate of the Furious, just because of all the pre-production that goes into Transformers movies.
Sure.
This
isn't a new concept though. This
new concept or not, it's Optimus Prime being badass. Sure, he starts out evil. I'm sure he'll end up good. That's how these things work. I don't care.
Marky Mark making a return to the Transformers franchise.
Yes. Give me more Marky Mark riding Bumblebee. I don't care what it is.
This is, to me, the Fast and Furious franchise. I have seen every Transformers movie more than once.
They're so good.
I've seen them in theaters. I see them on opening night. They're usually really bad, Brian, but I see them every time.
They're really good.
They're
bad.
Enjoyable.
Dude.
I did cry with the one with Leonard Nimoy, though. I almost bawled like a baby.
I don't go to a Transformers movie for the deep storytelling. I go to a Transformers movie to watch cars transform into awesome giant robots and fight other awesome giant robots.
Sometimes they're racist robots, but yes,
we care. Whatever their predilections are, I don't give a crap.
And honestly, that's what you should be coming into it, which is kind of what you should be coming into Fast and Furious. So I'm okay. I'll go see it.
This is going to be enjoyable.
So
Anthony Hopkins is in it.
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins is in it. Come on.
Yep.
There's your star power.
I agree.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, then June 28th is Baby Driver. I cannot tell you.
This looks really good.
All the other podcasts and all the other websites that I read and listen to will not shut up about this movie. It's got a lot of great buzz about it. Played at South by. It was huge.
It's an Edgar Wright movie.
Yep.
I mean, Edgar Wright does good shit. It's going to be, and you got, you want to talk about like a nice cast. You got, John Bernthal, you got John Hamm, you got Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx. I mean, this is going to be, again, this is probably not going to be like the most in-depth movie, but it's going to be a fun ride, and I'm all for it, and I'm going to see it.
And then at the end of June, on the 30th, we have Despicable Me 3 and The House. And I'm honestly going to tell you, I don't know which movie I'm going to see because I want to see both of them.
I want to see both of them too. I could wait on The House.
I just want to think. I think it's going to be Despicable Me 3.
Despicable Me 3 looks really freaking good.
My daughter loves the Minions.
Even though the Minions movie was disappointing,
very disappointing.
Despicable Me 3 looks really good.
Good.
I love both Despicable Me's.
Yeah.
So I'm all over this.
But this, to me though, this is this could be the Despicable Me that jumps the shark, and this could be the end of it.
Certainly hope not, because I'm waiting for my Despicable Me pitch to be turned into a movie.
What's your Despicable Me pitch?
Well, I mean, we've built this entire story around this villain who wants to be turns out, finds these kids, ends up being a hero, falls in love with a secret agent, gets married. I'm waiting for the movie when one of the daughters wants to turn into a supervillain and how he has to deal with that.
I'll bet you that's how this movie ends.
The middle daughter, I guarantee it.
Always, yeah, she was crazy. And then The House. So The House is...
First off, I'm copywriting that idea, DreamWorks. DreamWorks does that, right?
Yeah. I think Illumination. You can just say Illumination.
It's Universal. Copywritten, Brian Thornton. Mine.
And then The House. This looks pretty funny. It's Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so it's Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler. Their kid's accepted to college that they can afford, so they open a casino in their basement.
With Ralphie.
It reminds me of an episode of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, where they did the meat shack
exactly.
in the basement.
But it looks hilarious, looks great. I just, I'm hoping I didn't see all the funny bits in the trailers, but I'll probably see this movie.
Speaking of things that only had the funny bits in the trailer, I saw Baywatch last night.
I heard terrible things about Baywatch. I'm glad you said that because that ends the Blockbuster, but I had to know if you saw Baywatch.
I watched Baywatch.
How bad was it?
It was disappointing. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is an awful movie, but the funniest parts are in the trailer.
See, my wife and I were going to go see a movie tomorrow, and she's like, "Do you want to go see Baywatch?" And
go
I was
see
like,
Pirates.
I as I said, I heard terrible things about Baywatch. I'll probably see Pirates, but I'm not stoked about Pirates. So
I haven't seen Pirates yet, but that's getting much better reviews.
I'll just save my money,
or you can do that.
So that rounds out the Blockbuster and Ryan's hot take on Baywatch, which was meh.
Hot being the key word. There are hot people everywhere in that movie. There's hot people for the guys. There's hot people for the girls. There's the awkward guy for the awkward guys who ends up with the hot girl, so you all can get false hope. But it was just not that funny.
So there's a lot of TV and movie news that came out over the last week and a half, and I had to start with this trailer. And we had talked about this a while back, but Sony has not only made, but they've released the trailer for the Emoji Movie. I can't shit on this harder.
Allow me to give my thoughts
please.
in the form of emojis.
Yes, please.
Shit emoji.
Yeah, poop emoji everywhere.
Like
it
six
misses
of them.
it misses the whole point of what an emoji is, right?
It's dumb. It's terrible.
And
I don't care if you got TJ Miller to voice the main character.
You got Patrick Stewart in there too.
It's not gonna save the movie.
No.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart's the shit emoji.
Yep. Yes, he is.
No.
Again, it's one of those things where you look at the cast list, you're like, I should see this movie. And then you see the trailer, you're like, oh, this is a pile of dog shit.
No.
Yeah.
Just no.
Nope. Some young studio exec is like, yo, I heard like millennials like emojis. You want to make an emoji movie?
No.
Fine. You want to hear a glimmer of hope, though, in the movie and TV world, though? There's always money in the banana stand.
Yes.
Arrested Development has a 5th season greenlit on Netflix.
I'm really hoping it's better than the 4th season.
I didn't mind the 4th season.
It's not, but it wasn't up to the caliber of the first 3 seasons, which are amazing.
Yeah, I agree. But what I did like about the 4th season was that you could watch it in any order and still kind of get the story. You didn't have to watch it in chronological order.
But it's Netflix. It picks up right where you left off. If you start off at episode 1, it just goes straight on. You don't need to skip around like some freaking Tarantino film student.
You can. That's very true. All right, but touche. I mean, but yay, right?
I'm absolutely on board for this. This is going to be awesome.
Okay, so but I will say this: the Netflix team did take a lot of the criticisms from season 4 to heart, and they said that they have tweaked season 5 a little bit to take some of that feedback to try to make the comedy a little better, make the chemistry and the story a little stronger between all the characters. So hopefully, Brian, that will resolve your angst and
I certainly hope so, because I'm a huge fan of this show.
All right, now I have to apologize. I'm gonna get Brian really riled up here, and he is gonna complain for a long time, and the floor will be yours. But CBS has not only greenlit but released a trailer for Young Sheldon.
Is the floor mine?
The floor is yours, sir.
The floor is mine. Okay. This is a fucking terrible idea for a multitude of different reasons, but mostly for this reason. Sheldon Cooper is a fantastic character. He's hilarious in The Big Bang Theory, played by Jim Parsons. And I don't give a shit if Jim Parsons is narrating this show. No young kid is going to be able to capture what he did for that character. A. B. Here's my issue. When we meet Sheldon, he is an emotionally stunted genius. He is just bare minimum, and he's gone through a lot of character development over the 10 seasons of this show.
Right.
You can't build a show around an emotionally stunted character and not try to grow that character at all. And then it makes no sense having him then be returned to this emotionally stunted wreck at the beginning of Big Bang. It's a terrible idea. It's not going to get the viewership that they think it's going to get, because the people who enjoy Big Bang Theory, for the most part, are people like us.
But this is also the crowd that likes 2.5 Men that would totally watch this.
Yeah, but 2.5 Men was a really great show, and then they did something. What'd they do? Oh yeah, they changed the total dynamic of the show, and it tanked. This is not going to go anywhere.
The thing that I also have a problem is that Sheldon is still growing and developing on The Big Bang Theory. Like, his journey's not done. Like, the show isn't over. He's still an active character. And you know they're going to incorporate something from this show, right? Some memory or something from this show in The Big Bang Theory to be like, oh, one episode we're gonna force you to watch Young Sheldon because something that happened when he was a kid happened here now. And like, don't inform the character on a show that you're just trying to figure it out. Like, you're just really just trying to force us to watch this show. And we don't want to. No one wants this. We don't want to know what Sheldon was like when he was a kid.
Nobody
because he was an idiot. No, not an idiot. He was just mean. He was just a cold, emotional kid, like you said. There's no reason to have this show.
Yeah. No. But this is just showing me that CBS is running out of ideas at this point. If they greenlit this, it's a terrible idea.
That or Chuck Lorre has just complete control over the CBS.
The man has done amazing shows for the past 20 some odd years. You can't
Yep.
tell me he couldn't come up with another new idea that would be a big hit for them. I mean, come on.
So I am interested, though, to hear your take on something else that comes into our nerdy world through TV, and that's The Orville, which is a Fox series helmed by Seth MacFarlane, which is basically a spoof. Not basically, it is. It's a spoof on Star Trek. It's like A Million Ways to Die in the West, but in Star Trek.
How good was A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Oh, it was awful. It was terrible.
Okay, that's how I feel about this show. I think Seth MacFarlane can be funny.
Yes.
I think the first 5 seasons of Family Guy were hilarious.
Ted was a great movie.
Ted was a great movie.
That's kind of where it ends. That's
it. Like this he's so hit or miss, and this is going to be a miss. I just don't see this being good at all.
And here's the other thing too. This is Star Trek fans are not the same fans who watched Family Guy the entire way. I mean, anything that they watched and loved that had that nerdy, Star Trek, Star Wars aspect was there because Seth Green was also there, and Robot Chicken has a great cult following for the same fan base. It's the wrong people to target and market. Like it's just wrong. I don't know why. I mean, it's Fox, so I mean, they'll greenlight anything. I'm sure there's somewhere a pilot of a monkey eating a banana for 5 minutes. It's like, we'll make that a series.
They'll greenlight anything and make it 10 seasons, and then they'll greenlight stuff, and then that is great, and then cancel it after 1.
Anyway,
but
do you have any desire to watch this?
No, not at all. None. 0.
See, here's the problem. There's not a lot on TV and in the movies right now that's been talked about in the last couple of days that has given us a real glimmer of hope. The only thing I'm curious about is Star Trek Discovery, right? So we have a show making fun of Star Trek on Fox, and then CBS, which is releasing this on CBS All Access only. So this is only going to be a streaming series, which means, oh yeah, what's top dollar here? Star Trek Discovery. Where the heck, like...
I think they're putting money into it.
But
I think it's a bad call to make this just on All Access. This needs to be on cable.
It's just like Community Season 6, right? There's a huge following for Community. And when it got canceled and Yahoo picked it up, everyone was very excited. And we heard, yay, Yahoo's picking up Community. Community can live 6th season. Nobody one watched it on Yahoo. You watched it on Hulu when it finally hit Hulu.
Yeah, and nobody's going to watch this on CBS All Access. This is their big ploy to try and shove everybody down, this lane. But listen, you're targeting a market which average Joe Schmo is not interested in a Star Trek prequel. Only Trekkies are. They will give it. Here's the thing about Star Trek fans. I was talking to somebody about this. I forget who said it, and it was kind of smart. It's like, hey, Star Trek fans are diehard Star Trek fans. They will give any Star Trek project a chance, but they are also very good about, if they don't like it, they will abandon it real fast.
Yep.
And I don't see, this has got to be amazing to retain those Star Trek fans. But then what have you done? You've just gotten a bunch of Trekkies to sign up for your video on demand, and the rest of the populace is not interested at all.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. CBS All Access, albeit only $5 a month, is just the cord cutter's way to get CBS. And people who are diehard Trekkie fans and people who actually like this genre have cable. Like, they're not cord cutters, so they're not going to pay an additional $5 just to get one show.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's the wrong strategy, and you're right. They're just trying to push people onto CBS All Access, but man, I mean, if it's good, great. I hope it is. Like, I hope it's got something.
I hope it is, and I hope it actually starts airing on CBS instead of this ridiculousness. Like, because I do enjoy Star Trek, but this is a bad call.
They'll probably move it after the season's done onto CBS and syndication, but
yeah, and they'll get more views that way, and then they'll bring it back, and hopefully on cable.
But by then, judgment has passed, right? Enough nerds have pirated it to watch an episode or two, or they'll put maybe the pilot season on CBS and say, to catch the rest, get CBS All Access. And by then, judgment will be passed, and you're either going to get the new audience, or everyone's going to be like, it's a piece of shit, don't watch it, and no one's going to watch it. It's a gamble. I'll give it to CBS. They're gambling with it. I mean,
huge gamble.
But I mean the payout and I mean, even me.
They should have put Young Sheldon on All Access so that way
nobody
will watch it still.
I like the way you think. All right. It's that time of the show where we look at the comic book world at large and how it affects the rest of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk!
So it was announced last week that Zack Snyder, after suffering just a terrible tragedy within his family, is going to be leaving the Justice League movie. And there's a new director at the helm.
Yes. His name is Joss Whedon.
Which you may know from some of the Avengers films, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly, fantastic director. We've talked about how we feel about the DC movie universe on this show before. I am not happy to see this news because of the circumstances that came behind it. And the other part too, I mean, the Justice League is pretty much done. Major.
He stepped down during reshoots.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's gone forever. He's focusing on himself. He's focusing on his family, which he absolutely should do.
Mm-hmm.
And Joss Whedon, apparently, so for what I understand, they were writing some scenes for the reshoots, and Joss Whedon was a big part of writing some of those scenes. So Zack Snyder was like, "Hey, listen, you're the guy that I trust to finish this out, finish these reshoots, and edit the movie."
Yeah.
And if you're going to hand over a huge movie like this to anybody, Joss Whedon's your guy. You want the guy who made Avengers like the biggest blockbuster in the world for several years. So
and the guy who's going to do the Batgirl movie in your universe. So you want someone who has a vested interest in the continuation of this universe. I mean, and honestly, you can't. I mean, it's not like you're going to remove Zack Snyder's influence or vision from this movie. So some people are
still going to be a very very
Snyder-esque. Yeah, a lot of people are just like, oh, well, maybe this will change the movie entirely. No, stop. You're being foolish. It's just for the reshoots, just for the editing, but it's really
Joss
come down
Whedon
to
as a director
wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that. He's going to keep the same tone. He's just going to be like, hey, I'm just helping out here. It's like when you have a substitute teacher.
Right.
That's really what it is. He's not going to change how the thing works. He's just going to finish it out.
All right, but we did get some movie coming out of the Sony Marvel universe. Okay, listen.
Sony.
We knew that Sony is going to spin off and start doing some Spider-Man villain-only movies. We knew that the Venom movie was the first one to come up, but they have cast Tom Hardy, the man who played Bane, as Venom. One of the only other men to switch in between DC and the MCU, and I am damn excited to see this.
Are you excited, CJ?
No, this is not.
I hear you've heard of my other project coming up.
But Bane...
I was done making Gotham great again.
No, Bane, you're not actually in this movie. It's Tom Hardy.
No, CJ, I am in every movie.
No, this is the man who played you.
Yes, CJ. I am Tom Hardy, CJ.
Wait, hold on. Can you speak like Venom? Because he doesn't speak in these I terms.
CJ, we know exactly what you want in this movie.
What is that?
After we were done making Gotham great again, we were traveling to New York and we decided to stop breaking bats because there were spiders everywhere, CJ. And we started pulling the legs off spiders and decided that we would indeed decide to ruin the Spider-Man.
Listen, anything is better than having Topher Grace, so I think we're okay.
I think this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic. This is, I mean,
it's fantastic
seriously,
news, fantastic casting news. Just
Sony,
please don't fuck it up.
That's
all I have to say.
I can't even be mad at Sony because I'm like, Sony, you're gonna just do villains. Like, you're not really gonna have Spider-Man in there. It's not really tied to the Marvel universe
yet. I'm hoping they work something out.
Marvel still has an affiliation with this, but it really is Sony just taking the helm. I mean, they own the properties and blah blah blah, bring everything back to.
What's going to stop Marvel from the next Spider-Man movie having Venom in it? Like they're
as
gonna
long as
have
it's
to work something out.
As long as it's Tom Hardy, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm okay. The only thing that I never liked about Sony having Spider-Man was Spider-Man 3. Everything else, I was okay. I was on board. Even the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't say I loved it.
We'll do a whole podcast where we discuss the Spider-Man movies.
We should really do that. Just a whole thing about Spider-Man.
Sure, whenever you want.
All right. So speaking of studios who don't own their property all the way, so Fox, right, has released a trailer for a television series called The Gifted, which exist within the X-Men universe, where they can say the word mutant all they want.
And they can say X-Men.
And they can say X-Men. And I have to say something. This looks awesome. Looks great. And I'm not a big Fox fan. And I'm not a fan that they're not going to give fucking X-Men over to Marvel. But this looks great. This looks awesome. I'm going to watch it. You seem to think otherwise.
I'm skeptical because of Fox's track record, not just with the X-Men franchise, but with television shows in general.
They made Lethal Weapon.
And I love Lethal Weapon.
So love Gifted. Give it a shot.
Every blind squirrel finds a nut eventually. Listen, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to give it a shot. The bar is low. The bar is low on this one.
See, I'm coming in cautiously optimistic saying, listen, it's got Bryan Singer involved too. Like, that's the man who I want in charge of my X-Men.
Yeah, great. He's probably in charge for the first couple episodes, and that's about it.
And listen, the first couple episodes set the tone for the series.
I guess we'll see. I don't know. I don't.
Really, you're not sold on it? I really would have thought you were sold on this.
I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it. The X-Men universe is huge, so you definitely can do anything you want in the universe. I just don't trust Fox.
All right,
that's all it is.
I'm a little sad, but okay.
I'm glad I can make you sad.
All right, how about something we can all get excited about and maybe squee a little? Squee. Greg Berlanti. All hail Greg Berlanti of the CW fame.
Yes.
He has taken the helm, and the CW has picked up Black Lightning and has given us a trailer for it. It is not in the Berlanti universe, the Berlantiverse.
It's not in the Arrowverse, is what they like.
Oh, is that what they call it? All right, so it's not in the Arrowverse, but this looks freaking awesome.
It looks good.
It looks real good.
It looks different. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm young and beautiful and I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
It's like old, rugged, retired guy comes out of superhero retirement to save his daughters, it looks like, at least for the pilot.
Yeah.
It looks a little gritty. Looks a little dark and gritty.
It looks like the I'm too old for this shit, but I'm doing it for my family kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like if Murtaugh were to, shoot lightning out of his face. It'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. And you're right, though. It is a different tone from the CW shows of not all like, hey, we're a sexy young cast. But you know what? I welcome that because that's not how the world works. So this
maybe not your world.
I'm sorry. We all don't have palatial estates chock full of models.
I'm just talking about myself.
And very few cats.
Nothing to do with my palatial estate.
And it looks really good. I'm on board. I mean, it had Greg Berlanti, so I mean, again, it could just be a monkey eating a banana for 3 hours. I'd still watch it.
The man has done nothing but good things for DC television and the DC CW universe right now. I mean, every single show, even the mediocre shows, are still good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. This is going to be enjoyable. I think it's going to be a interesting, different type of storytelling that we're not used to out of some of the other DC CW shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm ready for it. Bring it. Shut up and take my money.
And the good news is that all the trailers that we have discussed are available right in our show notes. So if you haven't seen Black Lightning, Gifted, Star Trek Discovery, Orville, Young Sheldon, the Emoji Movie, sadly, and everything in the Blockbuster, just go ahead and click your podcasting app, find our show notes, or go to thatkindofnerd.com, find this episode, and you can watch all the trailers in their entirety. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Cape Talk. So I am convinced that That Kind of Nerds podcast is slowly changing the way that gaming is being done in the world. And we owe that to Josh Burns, who isn't here to take credit for his wonderful ideas. And Xbox is actually launching. We now have the date, June 1st, early access for gold members actually right now. So if you're a gold member, you have access to this right now. Xbox is launching their Game Pass program, which is $9 a month, and it gets you access to Xbox One and backwards compatible Xbox 360 games. They have over 100 games available for it, and it's kind of like a Netflix binge-on strategy of video games.
PlayStation's been doing this for a while. It's called PlayStation Now. And it's...
Do you pay extra for it on top of your PlayStation subscription?
You have the option of a monthly, or you can actually rent the titles for $5 a piece if you just want to play one game. I don't remember the exact logistics. Just Xbox behind the game again. It's also Xbox trying to do whatever they can to stop getting spanked in console sales because the Switch is doing so well.
Yeah, so you're right. Sony and PlayStation, right? They have the same thing. You can stream. Sorry, so you can stream hundreds of games that are PS3, PS4, and you can also play it on a Windows PC, which I think is interesting considering Microsoft and Windows. I thought they would do this with Game Pass. Maybe they do.
Yeah,
but the 1 month subscription though to that, Brian, is $19.99. And a 3 month is $44.99. So Xbox has it pretty fairly competitively priced.
Yeah.
I know that there's the game catalog between the two are a little different because PlayStation has a couple more exclusives. But I'll tell you what, I am a cheap gamer. I don't have a whole lot of time.
You're just a cheap person.
I am just a cheap person in general, and having the ability to it's true, and having the ability to play some games for only $10 a month and turn it on and off at my leisure is. It's pretty interesting to me, and I am one of the sad guys who picked the wrong console and stuck with an Xbox One, which I regret.
That's a you problem, bro.
I got the Day One edition. If anyone wants to buy it, let me know. I'll probably sell it.
And then buy a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, and you know why? Because of the Spider-Man game that's coming out for the PlayStation 4, allegedly at some time by Raw Dog. At some time it'll come out, whatever.
In the near future.
It'll happen. But
I mean,
no.
Listen, this is great. It's great for Xbox users. I don't want to seem like I'm shitting all over Microsoft, even though I am. But it's reasonably priced. You can get some old games like Gears of War, Halo. Like those are the only two exclusives that are jumping to my mind. But listen, I don't know. Huh? What do I think about?
They've got like the BioShock series, and they've got
PlayStation's got those too.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that for $10, it's less expensive than the PlayStation one.
Again, it's great, but my point is, PlayStation's been doing it for a while, and maybe it hasn't been that successful because of how it's priced. But I don't really see how successful it's been. I don't know if this is going to be the saving grace that Xbox needs because they're getting spanked. Literally spanked in console sales between Nintendo and PlayStation.
Real-time follow-up for those who are PC gamers. Xbox Play Anywhere, which is the Windows 10 version of playing Xbox games on your computer. This is compatible with that. So I was mistaken. You can do that for the Xbox One. And I'm thinking, really, that's their thing. Microsoft has really pushed that Windows 10 is also your gaming device. It's got your Xbox games. So maybe to get a couple people to play on their PC. And
maybe.
I mean, it's biggest operating system in the world. I mean, who knows?
I would not be surprised if this isn't successful. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft just drops out of the console game in general.
I don't think they'll go.
They've been talking about it for a long time.
No, I think they'll go into kind of like the NVIDIA Shield, where they'll sell a box that's upgradable through components. Basically, a PC. They'll just sell you a PC that does gaming, and they'll call it an Xbox. A PC. I know, but some people are dumb idiots who don't realize that they're buying a PC and would just be like, it says Xbox on it, so I'll just buy it. It sounds good. Here's $400. Does it come with a Kinect?
It's very insensitive of you.
Is that not what Microsoft people sound like?
Not all of them.
So this is something I may get. And mainly the other reason I may get it too is because my brothers pester me that I'm never on Xbox Live playing games. I'm like, I don't own many. So, hey, maybe this will solve that issue. I'm willing to give it a shot. Who knows?
Let me know how it works out for you.
That sounds about right.
I'll be playing my superior gaming system, console, PlayStation.
Well, That Kind of Nerd fans, we have one bit of news before we wrap up the show. We would obviously love your support to help buy some nerdy gear at shop.thatkindofnerd.com. You can get a cat-to-mail ratio shirt or just a regular That Kind of Nerd t-shirt. But right now, we have a special offer running from June 2nd to June 4th. So that is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Free shipping! So if you go to shop.thatkindofnerd.com from June 2nd to June 4th, you can use the code FS617, so that's free shipping 617, makes sense. You can get free shipping on your entire order. So go to shop.thatkindofnerd.com from June 2nd to June 4th, get free shipping FS617.
So the shipping is free?
The shipping is free.
That's exciting.
Thank you for making us your walk around your neighborhood and your drive to work, and we will see you guys next week when we break down the nerdy world for you.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show. I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree.
Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd. And Apple versus Android is a case to be heard. And that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, cause you are that kind of nerd.
Meh. Meh. Meh.
Be good, stay in school, crack is whack. Don't date a drummer. That's all I
Date a
got.
drummer?
Yeah, I'm just randomly pulling things out of my rear end now.
I worry about you.
You absolutely should.